This is a video presentation on equivalent fractions by Mathematically Marcia. Okay, let's look at equivalent fractions by first taking the number or the fraction 1/2. 1/2 means I take an object and I put it into two pieces. The top number, or we're going to now shade one of those two pieces. So the top number is my part. That's the part that is shaded. The bottom number is my whole. Now to find an equivalent fraction, we multiply both of these by the same number. Let's do them by 2. That would give me 2/4. So let's use the same rectangle. And now let's divide this rectangle into 4 parts, since 4 represents my whole rectangle. And then we shade 2 parts, since the top number or the part is 2. And you can see by looking at the rectangle that it's still half of it that's shaded. It's just we have it separated into 4 pieces instead of just 2. Okay, we can continue to take 1/2 and find new fractions by multiplying, or new equivalent fractions by multiplying by other numbers. We can do times 3, which would give you 3/6. We can take 1/2, multiply the numerators by 4, which would give you 4/8. We could multiply the numerators by 5, which would give you 5/10. You multiply the numerators by 6, we give you 6/12. And we could keep going with that all day long. There's no limit to the number of equivalent fractions you can make. All of those still mean a half. Okay, we can use this concept to find the missing part of an equivalent fraction. As we just saw, we could sit here all day and list equivalent fractions for 1/2. But if we know that we want the numerator of the denominator to be a certain number, we can easily find the other part to make that equivalent fraction. So for example, 1/2 would equal what number over 40? To find that, ask yourself, 2 times what number equals 40? What do I need to multiply by 2 in order to get 40? And the answer to that is 20. If I do 2 times 20, I'll get 40. So remember, as we saw in the last examples, in order to make an equivalent fraction, I have to multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. So since the denominator is being multiplied by 20, I multiply the numerator by 20. And that gives me 20. Okay, let's look at this next example. We have 3/5 equals something over 25. So I need to do 5 times 5 gives me 25. So since 5 is what I'm multiplying in the denominator, it's what I'm multiplying in the numerator, so I get 15. For the next example, we have 2/5 equals something over 30. Now to get 30, I have to do 5 times 6 equals 30. So since the denominator is being multiplied by 6, you multiply the numerator by 6, and you get 12. Okay, this works the same way if the numerator is given to you. We just look at the numerator, start right there instead of the denominator. So in this next example, we have 5 over 8 equals 40 over what? So I come up here, what do I have to multiply 5 by to get 40? And the answer to that is 8. 5 times 8 equals 40. So I also multiply the denominator by 8, and we get 64. For the next example, 7 over 12 equals 28 over what? So we do 7 times 4 equals 28. So since I have to multiply by 4 to get 28, I also multiply the denominator by 4 and get 48. Okay, for the next example, ask yourself 6 times what is 36? And that would be 6. So we'll do 7 times 6, which is 42. Okay, we can also find equivalent fractions by dividing by the same number. And when you're asked to reduce a fraction or simplify a fraction or put in lowest terms, this is what it means. You want to divide by the common factor, find the equivalent fraction that can't be simplified anymore. So for example, 9 and 12 are both divisible by 3. So you can do 9 divided by 3, which is 3. 12 divided by 3, which is 4. 3 and 4 no longer have a common factor. So this is a simplified fraction, or it's in reduced form, or lowest terms. Can't divide anymore. Now we can multiply something else to find more equivalent fractions, but we can't make the numerator and denominator any smaller. So that is how you reduce. Let's look at another example. Let's say 8 over 12. 8 and 12 can both be divided by 2. That would give an equivalent fraction. However, the greatest common factor would be 4. That would be the best one to divide it by. That's how you get it in the lowest terms. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that reduces to 2/3. Let's take 8 over 12 again and say you just divided by 2. You didn't realize you could divide by 4, so you divided by 2. You would have gotten 4 over 6, which is still an equivalent fraction. But it's not in lowest terms. Notice 4 and 6 can still be divided by 2 again. So now it's in lowest terms. So 8 over 12, 4 over 6, 2 over 3, they're all equivalent fractions, but 2 over 3 is the reduced fraction, or the simplest fraction. All right, let's practice a few more examples. Start with 15 over 24. Those numbers are both divisible by 3. So that would give me 5 over 8. And then we have 16 over 32. 16 actually will go into 32 2 times. So we can divide both of these by 16. Sometimes the smaller number is your common factor. So that would be 1/2. That's another equivalent fraction for 1/2. All right, and then 18 over 24. We can divide both of these by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 24 divided by 6 is 4. 9 and 15 can both be divided by 3. So that gives me 3 over 5. 21 and 28 can both be divided by 7. So that gives me 3 over 4. 24 and 84 can both be divided by 12. So that gives me 2 over 7. So that is how you reduce a fraction, or put a fraction into lowest terms, or simplify a fraction. Okay, if you have a mixed number, you can reduce the fraction part the same way. You have 1 and 4 over 6. 4 can be divided by 2. 6 can be divided by 2. So that's still, you have 1. You leave that part alone. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, and with the next one, 8 and 12 can both be divided by 4. You leave the 2 alone. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 5 and 9 over 23, or 33. These can both be divided by 3. You leave the 5 alone. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 33 divided by 3 is 11. Now for the next fraction, 15 and 35 can both be divided by 5. We'll leave the 7 alone. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So you have 7 and 3 over 7. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button below. Share your comments, questions, requests for future videos in the comment section. And you can subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. And thank you for watching.